This is the homework solution for page 242, numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10. The instructions for 7 through 10 is written right here. It says for us to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular to the graph of the equation. Okay, so make sure you understand that we want to write an equation that goes through a certain point and that is perpendicular to another equation. Okay? Understand the directions before moving on. Number 7 is displayed right here. The point -2, 3, and here's the equation. Y equals -1/2 x minus 4. I, like here, says I need to produce an equation that passes through this point that is perpendicular to this equation. So, step 1 is to always find my slope. Okay? How do I find my slope? The original equation is defined as y equals to -1/2 x minus 4. The first equation, the slope of this equation is -1/2. The new equation must have a slope of 2. How do I get that 2? Remember, because m1 and m2 are opposite reciprocals of each other. That is the definition of perpendicular lines, is when their slopes are opposite reciprocals. How do I get it? Remember that m1 times m2 is going to be equal to -1. Okay, let me show you. -1/2 times 2 will get me -1. This is how I know that m2 right here equals to the number 2 is the opposite reciprocal. Let me show you how to find that. Okay, I have my slope value here of -1/2. Right? I want to find, first of all, I want to find the opposite. So let me find its opposite. Let's do the opposite, okay? Okay, let's do the opposite. The opposite of that will be -2/1. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's what's the opposite of -1/2? +1/2. Good? Right? This is +1/2. Now we want to find the reciprocal. So let me reciprocal it. Okay? What's the reciprocal? It's when the top becomes the bottom and the bottom becomes the top. So this becomes 2/1. Do you see that? This is how I find the opposite reciprocal. Good? Alright, that is how I get the value 2 right there. And again, this has to be hold true, right, for it to work. Alright, that is the difference between finding perpendicular slope and parallel slope, is that for perpendicular lines, the slope is an opposite reciprocal. Same procedure as before. My life is easy now because I just use the point slope equation. I make sure I have my points, -2 right here, and 3 for my y. M is equal to 2. Again, 2 is right there. Please review the previous minutes if you need further explanation on how I got the 2 for the slope. Okay, it is because of the opposite reciprocal. Next, write the equation. Y minus y1 equals to m parentheses x minus x1. That is point slope equation. Plug in the value of 2 via substitution. I simplify the minus. Subtract 2 becomes an addition. Okay. Then I distribute. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. Add 3 to both sides because I'm doing the inverse property to get y alone. Y is equal to 2x plus 9. 6 plus 3 equals to 9. So that is my equation in slope-intercept form. Right? Notice that this equation, do you see the slope here? 2x is the opposite reciprocal of this. Y equals to -1/2 x. Alright? Because they are perpendicular. Alright? Let me pull up something for you here. Okay? What I have here is Desmos. Okay, Desmos is a very good program. If you would like to see how things are graphed. Okay, so let me graph the first thing. It looks like y is equal to negative 1/2 x minus 4. Okay, so here I graphed it, and it looks like something like this. Okay, here's the origin, and it goes down right there. Let me graph the second one, the one that I just figured out here. X is equal to 2x plus 9. Okay, all right, good. And okay, let me pull that up. Oops. Here you go. All right. Here, the second equation. There you go. Boom. Do you see how it perfectly intersects? Right? It perfectly intersects here. Right? That is the uniqueness of it. The red was the original equation, and the blue line is the equation that we wrote, which is 2x plus 3. Right? There you go. Okay? I'm going to be using Desmos here to give us a better visualization of the equations, okay? All right. Next, let's pull up 8. 8 gives us this point, negative 1 comma 4, with the equation y is equal to 3x plus 5. Again, we need to find the slope. The original equation is y equals to 3x plus 5. So the slope here is 3. Okay. Right? Because it's right in front here. The new equation has to have a slope of negative 1 over 3. How do I do that? Okay, how do I do that? Okay, again, right, let's bring up paint. Okay, let's bring up paint, right, to help us. Okay, so here, let me scoot this a little bit over here, right, so we could get it better. All right, so here's the brush. We have the slope 3 over 1 right here. Okay, that is my original slope. I need to do the opposite. So, opposite. Okay, what is the opposite of 3 over 1? It's negative 3 over 1. Okay, then again, we have to do the reciprocal. Alright, do you see that? We have to do the opposite reciprocal. Okay, like before here. Okay. Okay, reciprocal. Alright. What is 3 over 1 becomes 1 over 3. Do you see that? Find the opposite, then find the reciprocal. That is how I got negative 1 over 3. Okay, there you go. Alright, let me put that to the side. To double check, because remember, M1 and M2 are opposite reciprocals because they're going to form perpendicular lines. Remember that M1 times M2 is equal to negative 1. So I can double check. 3 times negative 3 over 1 should be negative 1. Right? And if you plug that into your calculator, you should get negative 1. So I know that this is the correct slope. Okay? Next, after that, you can use point slope equation. X is equal to negative 1 right there. Y1 is equal to 4. M is equal to negative 1 over 3. Label the information before. Like before, point slope equation, make your substitution, simplify the negative, the subtracting a negative becomes an addition. Distribute, okay? Again, negative 1 over 3 times x is negative 1 over 3x. Negative 1 over 3 times 1 is negative 1 over 3, okay? Would you like to see that? I can show you that if you would like, okay? I can show you that. Okay, let me bring up paint for those who would like to see the me multiplying negative 1 over 3. Okay, multiply by 1. So multiply by 1, right? 1 is the same thing as 1 over 1. When we multiply fraction, we go straight across. So negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Okay, 3 times 1 is 3. Do you see how I got that? That's if you need how to multiply a fraction. Okay, add 4 to both sides. That's inverse property. You should get negative 1 over 3 plus 4 is 11 over 3. Some of you might be freaking out. How do I do that? Again, get out your calculator. It's going to make your life so much easier. I can even show it to you. Okay? You have negative 1/3 plus 4. It's really 4 over 1. Okay? But again, I'm going to change this. I'm going to find a different ratio. I'm going to multiply this by a number so I can get the same denominator. Because when we add fractions, we have to have the same denominator. I'm going to multiply this by 3. And I should get negative 1 over 3 plus 12 over 3. Right? 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. Add this straight across. Negative 1 plus 12 is 11. 3 and 3 is 3. That is how I got 11 over 3. Okay? That is how I got that fraction. Okay? There you go. That is the equation in slope-intercept form. Alright, good. We're doing good so far. The next two is a little bit, we have to do something a little bit before that. Look at this. We have 2 comma 3, and we have this equation. 2x plus 3y equals to 4. Wait, how is this different than this? This is easy because we could automatically grab the slope. It's very hard for us to grab the slope right here because this is in standard form. So, let's get the equation into point slope form before we do anything, okay? 2x plus 3y equals to 4. That is the original equation. Subtract 2x to both sides because I'm trying to get y alone. I have 3y equals to negative 2x plus 4. Divide by 3 because I'm trying to get y alone. Do you see when I divide by 3, I divide by 3 to everything, okay? Right? Because whatever you do to the left-hand side, you do to the right-hand side. The right-hand side simplifies into negative 2 over 3x plus 4 over 3. This is the equation in point-slope form. Okay? Now, it should look like this. Here's the point. 2, 3, same thing as before, but the difference is that this standard form is converted into point-slope form. Okay? Point-slope form, which was negative 2 over 3x plus 4 over 3. Here's the work if you would like to see it. Okay? Now, from here, we could automatically grab our slope, right? Like before. Step 1, find the slope. The original equation is y equals to negative 2 over 3, x plus 4 over 3. So the slope here is negative 2 over 3. The new equation must have the slope 3 over 2. Because again, opposite, right? We do the opposite reciprocal. Okay? If some of you would like for me to do that, let me show you. Here you go. Okay. Here's my pen. I have negative 2 over 3. Let's do the opposite first. Alright, what's the opposite of negative 2 over 3? Positive 2 over 3. Now we want to find the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 3 over 2? 2 over 3, I mean, is 3 over 2. Alright, do you see that? Opposite reciprocal. That is how I got that. That's a bad ugly 2. That's a very good looking 2. Alright, there you go. That is how I got 3 over 2 as the slope of the second equation. Okay, because it is opposite reciprocal. Okay, there you go. Here I just write the information. Remember, because M1 and M2 are opposite reciprocals. Here, this is how you can check. Remember that M1 times M2 has to be equal to negative 1. Here you go. Negative 2 times negative 2 over 3 times 3 over 2 is the same thing as negative 1. That is how I double check that my slope is correct. Okay? Same thing before, use point slope to write the equation. X is equal to 2, y equals to 3. Remember, this was my point. What is my slope? 3 over 2. That's what I found here. Remember, it's opposite reciprocal. Point slope equation. Substitute your values in. I think you already heard this 1,000 times. Okay? Alright, simplifying. Distribute 3 over 2 times x is 3 over 2x. 3 divided by 2 times 2 is 3. Some of you are wondering how I got that because you're like, I'm bad with fractions. Can you show me, Mr. S? I'm like, okay, I can do that. I got you. I can show you all my steps. Alright, let me show you. So you did 3 over 2, and you want to multiply that by negative 2, correct? Remember, um, remember that any number, right, can be turned into a fraction, right? It's really a fraction. It's just divided by 1. What's 3 times negative 2? Negative 6. What's 2 times 1? 2. You can simplify 6 over 2 into 3 over 1. Okay, there you go. That is how I got 3, negative 3, okay? Because you don't really write that divide by 1, okay? That's how I got the negative 3. Add 3 to both sides, right? Negative 3 plus 3, that becomes 0. So y is equal to 3 over 2x plus 0 in slope-intercept form. Number 10, we have the same issue. We have the point 3 comma 6. We have the equation 3x minus 4y equals to negative 2. We see that this is in slope standard form. And how do we deal with it? Again, like before, we have to get the equation into point slope form before we do anything. Here's the original equation. Why did I add 3 to both sides? It should be subtract 3 to both sides, right? Subtract 3 to both sides, right? Subtract 3 to both sides, right? Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah, subtract 3 to both sides, okay? And you should get negative 4 over 3x, okay? Divided by negative 4, okay? You should have gotten, right? Negative over negative is a positive, so 3 over 4x minus 1. So that is the equation in slope-intercept form, okay? Good. So let's bring it down here. This was the wrong equation, right? Because again, like we said, right, this was 3x over divided by negative 4, okay? This is the work if you would like to see how I generated the equation, okay? Find the slope. The slope here is positive 3 over 4. So the new slope has to be negative, right? Negative 4 over 3. Okay, this is the original slope. The new slope has to be negative 4 over 3, right? It's the opposite reciprocal, okay? And then some of you would like me to show that, so I will. 3 over 4, right? First of all, we find the opposite. What is the opposite of 3 over 4? Negative 3 over 4. What happens after opposite? We find the reciprocal. Right? What is the reciprocal of 3 over 4? Negative 3 over 4. Negative 4 over 3. There you go. Okay? Alright? Because again, we double check. Because, hold on. That was 3 over 4. So, there you go. Okay. There you go. 3 over 4 times negative 4 over 3 is equal to negative 1. Okay? Next, we use our point slope form. Okay, something's off. This should have been a negative. Okay, right? Sub it in. 6 goes for, right? 3 is for x. 6 is for y. Okay, distribute it in. This should be a minus. Okay, then distribute this in. This should still be a minus. Minus 4 over 3x minus 4, right? Negative 4 times negative 4 divided by 3 times 3 is 4. Some of you would like to see that, so I can show you that. Okay, again, if you want to make your life easier, just get a calculator and let your calculator do it for you. Negative 4 over 3 times, okay, negative 3 over 1. Okay, negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12 divided by 3, right? A negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, remember this is a 2. What is 12 over 3? That is the same thing as 4 over 1, right? Positive 4 over 1. So this should be positive 4 over 1, okay? Add 6, add 6. So this should be a 10, right? 4 plus 6 is 10, okay? 4 plus 6 is 10, right? Here's the slope. It should be, oops. Okay. Okay. All right. Here, let me simplify there for you. There you go. Right? That is the y is equal to negative 4x. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. There you go. Okay. That is how it looks like. Right? Negative 4 over 3x plus 10 is the final answer. There you go. That is the homework solution for page 242, numbers 7 through 10.